Our top story now, Charanjit Singh Channi, a Dalit Sikh and the outgoing technical education minister, will be Punjab's new chief minister. He will be sworn in today at 11 a.m. Now, the Congress's choice for chief minister is key given next year's polls and the fact that Dalits are around 31% of Punjab's population. The poll calculus behind the choice of Charanjit Channi appears simple. The Akali Dal, which was earlier in power with the BJP, has joined hands with Mayawati's Bahujan Samaj Party to tap the Dalit votes. So Mr. Channi, as a Dalit and Sikh chief minister, the Congress hopes will counter that. Here are visuals of him this morning visiting a Gurudwara ahead of his swearing in as the chief minister of Punjab. Well, let's go across to Sunil Prabhu now for more. And Sunil, after all the controversy and, the infighting that was very apparent in the days running up to this, finally this choice of Charanjit Singh Channi, and he will be sworn in at 11 today. And hopefully things in the Congress in Punjab will settle after this?
I doubt very much because you can really see Gargi,
right.
For example, Sunil Jakar, unhappy that he lost out in the entire race, not ready to be deputy chief minister. There are going to be two deputy chief ministers.
Yes.
There's an uneasy calm at this stage. And it's in that backdrop we'll now have to wait and watch to see whether this gamble that the Congress party has done by appointing Mr. Charanjit Singh and trying to ensure that with Mr. Sidhu they work together and take all factions along, all sections of the society 5 months ahead of elections. So this is something that will have to be factored in. We'll need to factor in the fact that Captain Amrinder is upset. He's licking his wounds. He's an old soldier. And though he says at present time in the Congress party, there's a possibility of him forming his own political party ahead of the assembly elections. Having said that, there are other factions who are upset. So how will Mr. Charanjit Singh Channi as well as Navjot Singh Sidhu and the Congress leadership take all sections ahead of that crucial assembly polls that are due early next year is going to be anybody's guess, but definitely a lot of work that is required at this stage to see that all work together unitedly if they are going to make an impact and take on the BJPs and the BSP and the Akalis as well as the Aam Aadmi Party in the state.
Right, Sunil, this has also raised questions about Congress chief ministers in other states. What are you hearing on that front?
Well, there's an uneasy calm, as I said, even there. In fact, in Rajasthan, you're well aware that Sachin Pilot has been waiting. And he's been waiting for a very, very long time because his supporters who have been by him, who stood by him, are waiting to be accommodated, which Mr. Gehlot hasn't done. And it's been long pending. An assurance was given by no less than Mr. Ajay Makkan, who's one of the observers here, as well as Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, but that hasn't happened. And Mr. Ashok Gehlot, in his own way, is resisting that change because he feels that at that when Sachin Pilot did what he did, he was doing a move towards the BJP, and that's the reason why there's that entire faction fighting that is taking place. In the other state, where they're in power, and again it's in a mess. Mr. T.S. Singh Deo has sought his 2.5 years, and no less than Mr. Bhupesh Baghel said that Rahul Gandhi is expected to come, and then a decision will be taken about how things are in the state, and they'll go forward. So there is definitely a sense of uneasy calm, and these are only states in which they are power. The rest, there's huge infighting. And I think somewhere down the line, the Congress needs to understand that they need to work together, get all people on board. If they have to take on the BJP-led NDA across the country, now, as you're well aware, in the next assembly elections, Uttarakhand, again, the Congress has a huge issue there, fighting against the BJP, and they need to get things together. And like that, state after state, Uttar Pradesh, where you're seeing recently Priyanka Gandhi Vadra finally going out to meet people in Raebareli, and it's in that context that they will have to really pull up their socks. It's a little bit too late in that state, but nevertheless, the Congress is trying to put up a brave front in a four-cornered contest.
Right, Sunil, you spoke about how the choice of Charanjit Singh Channi will not settle the issues that they have in the Punjab Congress. But for the moment, all Congress leaders are really playing this as a master stroke, given that he's Dalit and first Dalit chief minister being announced by the Congress.
Yeah, so that's symbolism, and that's absolutely right. It's in a state where has never seen somebody from the scheduled castes being appointed. It's definitely a big step forward, and definitely they are using this as an opportunity to show that the Congress stands by the by the scheduled caste community. So we'll have to wait and see whether this works. As I said, depends on the kind of chemistry Mr. Charanjit Singh Channi has with Mr. Navjot Singh Sidhu, with other factional leaders, Mr. Sunil Jakar, for example, various other leaders who are in the fray, and takes all of them together to fight unitedly to take into account the fact that Captain Amrinder, who has been one of the Congress's biggest leaders in the recent past, had been ousted. So whether Rahul Gandhi is able to succeed in this exercise, much will depend, Gargi, on how all these factions work together in the months to come ahead of that assembly elections, which are due early next year.
All right, Sunil, thanks so much for joining us with all those details. So the new Punjab Chief Minister will be sworn in at 11 a.m. today. News now from Andhra Pradesh, and YSR Congress has swept the ZPTC and MPTC polls by winning a majority of the Zilla Parishad territorial constituencies and Mandal Parishad territorial constituencies. The ruling YSR Congress party in Andhra Pradesh has made a clean sweep. Election results were declared for 8,934 out of the 9,587 total MPTC seats, out of which 88% of seats were bagged by the YSRCP, amounting to a total of 7,863 seats. And out of the 641 ZPTC seats, 606 have been declared for the YSR Congress.
It's a referendum of the good which our government has done since 2 years. After post-2019 elections, every election, including the MP election and non-local bodies elections, have been won by the YSRCP despite the vicious attempts made by the opposition, managing the system, including the election commission, and putting cases in the court.
News now from Karnataka, where a leader of the Hindu Mahasabha was arrested in Mangaluru with his 2 associates a day after he threatened the Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai over the demolition of a temple, saying, "We didn't spare Gandhiji, who are you?" Dharmendra, the State General Secretary of the outfit, made the remarks during a press conference on the issue of temple demolition that has put the BJP government in a spot. Remember, it's been a very controversial issue there in Karnataka, with the Hindu groups really raising the issue and protesting against the ruling BJP. Now, the government has come under severe criticism from several quarters over the demolition of a temple in Nanjangud, Mysuru, following a Supreme Court directive. Later, though, while speaking to NDTV, the leader said that the reference to Mahatma Gandhi's assassination did not mean that he had threatened the Chief Minister or anyone else. He claimed it was an expression of anger. COVID news now, and COVID antibodies have been found in 84% of Kashmir's population. Experts say the high prevalence of antibodies in the population indicates that the third wave of the pandemic won't be very strong in the Kashmir Valley unless there is a new strain.
Much above the national average of 67%, in Kashmir, 84% people have developed protective antibodies against COVID-19, a latest survey by Medical College Srinagar has found. This means over 84% people here have either got COVID or are vaccinated. According to official figures, less than 3% have got COVID, while over 75% people above 18 have been vaccinated. Police personnel have the highest seroprevalence, 95%, not surprising since 98% are fully vaccinated. And among healthcare workers, 91% have developed COVID antibodies. But most surprising is the data about children in the 7 to 18 age group. 78% of them have antibodies, even though none have been vaccinated.
Among the population which we took from 7 years and above, the overall prevalence was 84%, which is possibly the highest as on day. But we found that we had the subsets of population which include healthcare workers, police personnel. Then also we took the separate sample of pregnant women.
The survey was conducted in July, the fourth survey since the outbreak last year. The survey showed 89% people who are above 45 years old and 84% people above 18 years have antibodies. The data for children has raised the question of schools reopening. In Kashmir, education has been badly impacted since August 2019. The J&K administration has decided to open schools for 12th and 10th with 50% attendance.
When we divided it into the age group of 7 to 18, the group which has not been vaccinated yet, and surprisingly what we found that around over 78% among them had developed antibody. We will take a good indicator that if government decides of opening up schools, at least around 80% of our school children might be having antibodies against the infection.
Doctors say as part of the survey, a 3-level testing procedure was adopted for all age groups. The vaccine has clearly played a major role. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi, NDTV.
Time for us to slip into a short break. Coming up on the other side, how actor Surya is reaching out to NEET aspirants.
ரொம்ப கேவலமான மார்க்ஸ் வாங்கியிருக்கேன். அதனால் உங்களை ஒருத்தர் நிச்சயமாக சொல்ல முடியும். மதிப்பெண்
Welcome back. The Jammu and Kashmir High Court dismissed a petition that sought to include Kashmiri Hindus and Sikhs into the job schemes for Kashmiri Pandits. Nazir Masoodi reports.
Navjot's dream of a job under the PM's special employment package for Kashmiri Pandits is shattered. A Kashmiri Hindu living near the LOC, Navjot lost the legal battle after the J&K High Court said that every Hindu living in the valley was not a Kashmiri Pandit and would not get jobs under the special scheme. On Tuesday, the J&K High Court dismissed a writ petition that sought to include some Hindu groups and Sikhs into the Prime Minister's job package for Kashmiri Pandits.
उन्होंने हमें साफ मना कर दिया कि उन्होंने ये बोला कि कश्मीरी हिंदूस, राजपूत, क्षेत्रीय वो कश्मीरी पंडित्स में नहीं आते. हमारे पास ओनली होप था कि कोर्ट हमारे फेवर में होगी. यस्टरडे वो भी हमारे फेवर में नहीं रहा. वहाँ पर भी कोर्ट का भी यही डिसीजन है कि कश्मीरी पंडित्स और कश्मीरी हिंदूस, राजपूत बिल्कुल अलग है. उन्होंने हमारी कम्युनिटी को डिस्क्रिमिनेट कर दिया. हम जस्टिस चाहते हैं.
On Tuesday, the J&K High Court dismissed a writ petition that sought to include some Hindu groups and Sikhs into the Prime Minister's job package for Kashmiri Pandits. The court said Kashmiri Pandit is a separately identifiable community distinct from other Hindus residing in the valley like Rajputs, Brahmins, other than Kashmiri Pandits, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and many others. Under the PM's scheme, 6,000 government jobs were announced for migrant Kashmiri Pandits in 2009. While 4,000 posts have already been filled, 2,000 jobs were recently advertised by the J&K Service Selection Board. The controversy started after the centre included non-migrants in the recruitment drive last year. The Kashmiri Sikhs say they will move the Supreme Court as the government policy to reserve jobs for only one specific community is discriminatory.
यहाँ सफर कोई चुन के किसी एक ने नहीं किया. यहाँ सफरिंग सबकी है. यहाँ मेजॉरिटी की सफरिंग है, यहाँ माइनॉरिटीज की सफरिंग है और माइनॉरिटीज इंक्लूड करती है हिंदू को, कश्मीरी पंडित को और सिख को. तो अगर आप खाली इसमें से सिंगल आउट करें कि नहीं सब कश्मीरी पंडित ने ही ज्यादा सफर किया, ये तो बिल्कुल इनजस्टिस है. बट मैं इस चीज को अभी टेकअप कर रहा हूँ सुप्रीम कोर्ट.
But Kashmiri Pandits welcome the judgment.
हमारी एक अलग पहचान है, हमारा एक अलग कल्चर है, हमारा एक अपने जो रिचुअल्स हैं दैट आर डिफरेंट देन रेस्ट ऑफ द पीपल. अगर आप इसमें आगे पर देखेंगे जो हिंदूज हैं, चाहे वो इवन कश्मीर में भी है, दे डोंट फॉलो नीलमत पुराण कश्मीरी पंडित रिचुअल्स which are altogether different than rest of the people which are following the larger Hinduism.
Debate over the separate identity of Hindus and Kashmiri Pandits. There are serious questions on Prime Minister's special job package. Kashmiri Sikhs and Hindus are asking if these jobs are meant for the sufferers of militancy, then people from all sections of society suffer deeply. And if these jobs are meant for the rehabilitation and return of Kashmiri migrant pandits, then for the last 10 years, despite providing 6,000 jobs, no migrant Kashmiri pandit has returned to the valley. In Srinagar, Nazir Masudi, Final TV.
News from Delhi now, and there's been an increase in the number of people seeking admission in Delhi government schools and leaving private schools in Delhi, almost double as compared to last year. After all, why are children leaving private schools and enrolling in Delhi government schools? Here's a ground report by Sharad Sharma.
Parents line up outside the principal's office at this Delhi government school in northwest Delhi. They all want their children to study in Delhi government schools rather than in private schools. Narayan Kumar Mishra, a driver now out of job due to pandemic, is trying to get his child admitted in class 11th in this Delhi government school.
पहले जैसा इनकम नहीं रह गया सर, इसलिए मैं प्राइवेट से गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में एडमिशन करवाना चाहता हूं बच्चों को.
Grocery store owner Santosh Ghosh's daughter studied in a private school till her class 10th. Now Ghosh has admitted her in a Delhi government school. Ghosh says when one can get equally good education in government schools, why go to private schools?
काम क्या करते हैं आप?
मैं अपना स्टोर है, मेरा किराना स्टोर है.
अच्छा, इसका मतलब आर्थिक स्थिति वाली बात तो आपकी
हाँ, भगवान की दया से इसमें किसी चीज़ की कोई कमी नहीं है.
अच्छा.
लेकिन जब हमारा काम फ्री में ही हो रहा है गवर्नमेंट की सहायता से, तो हम क्यों पैसा बेफिजूल का खर्च करें. सिंपल सी बात है. हर कोई पेरेंट्स यही चाहेगा. जब हमें वही फ्री में एजुकेशन मिल रही है हर चीज़ में, तो हम क्यों अपना इतना पैसा वेस्ट करेंगे, बताइए ना आप.
सारे टीचर्स बहुत अच्छे हैं, बहुत ही अच्छी स्टडी होती है यहाँ पे. तो अच्छे से प्राइवेट स्कूल के एज कम्पेयर टू गवर्नमेंट स्कूल मुझे अच्छा लगा.
While many have switched to government schools due to economic distress they have faced during pandemic, greater trust in Delhi government schools have also led to a jump in demand for admission in public schools. Last year, about 1,800 non-planned admission applications were received in this school at Delhi's Rohini Sector 21. While this year, they received about 3,500 applications so far. Most of them are applications for shifting from private to government schools.
पिछले साल 1800 के करीब फिगर है जो मुझे एग्जैक्ट याद है, और लगभग 600 बच्चों को हम दे पाए थे.
अच्छा, 1800 बच्चों ने अप्लाई किया था, 600 को पिछले साल आपने एडमिशन दिया था.
और इस साल हमारे 3000 से भी ज़्यादा बच्चों ने अप्लाई किया. तो 3-4 हज़ार के आसपास का फिगर है प्राइवेट स्कूल,
जिन्होंने प्राइवेट स्कूल से निकलकर इधर अप्लाई किया.
जो प्राइवेट स्कूल का जो हमारा नॉन प्लान एडमिशन कहलाता है वो प्राइवेट स्कूल का.
और एडमिशन कितनों को मिल गया?
300 को एडमिशन हम दे पाए. अभी भी बहुत बच्चे वेटिंग में कि यहाँ पर एडमिशन हो जाए.
2.36 lakh applications for non-planned admissions were received in Delhi government schools this year. Last year, this number was 1.20 lakh. This year, so far, 1.58 lakh such students have been admitted, whereas last year, this figure was 96,000. Most of these are cases shifting from private schools to Delhi government schools, due to which the total number of students in Delhi government schools have reached 17.67 lakh, whereas last year it was 16.28 lakhs.
मुझे लगता है गवर्नमेंट स्कूल के प्रति लोगों का कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ा है. पिछले वर्षों में जो गवर्नमेंट स्कूलों के नतीजे आए और जिस तरह से पढ़ाई का स्तर सुधरा है, उससे लोगों का कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ा है कि लोग अपने बच्चों को प्राइवेट से गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में डाल सकते हैं. पर अभी क्योंकि एडमिशन प्रोसेस चल रही है, तो इसमें जो भी फाइनल आंकड़े होंगे वो एक बार एडमिशन प्रोसेस कुछ कंक्लूजन की तरफ बढ़े तो मैं आपके सामने रखूँगा.
Incomes have fallen while confidence in Delhi's public school system has improved. This is why there is now a shift away from private education in the national capital. But making proper arrangements to accommodate this new flood of students to government schools will be a challenge. With Sharad Sharma, Osama Shah for NDTV.
News from Tamil Nadu, and amid 3 student suicides in the state over the last week, largely over fear of failure in the mandatory entrance test NEET for medical admissions. Now, popular star Surya released a motivational message telling students an exam is not bigger than life, and there are many ways for students to achieve. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin had appealed to celebrities to reach out to infuse confidence among students.
ரொம்ப கேவலமான மார்க்ஸ் வாங்கியிருக்கேன். அதனால் உங்களை ஒருத்தர் நிச்சயமாக சொல்ல முடியும், மதிப்பெண் தேர்வு இது மட்டுமே வாழ்க்கை இல்லை, சாதிக்கிறதுக்கு அத்தனை விஷயங்கள் இருக்கு. உங்களை புரிஞ்சுக்கவும் நேசிக்கவும் நிறைய பேர் இருக்கும். நம்பிக்கை தைரியமாக இருந்தால் வாழ்க்கையில் எல்லாரும் ஜெயிக்கலாம், பெருசாக ஜெயிக்கலாம். அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை, அச்சம் என்பதில்லையே. உங்க உயிரை விட பெருசு இல்லை. உங்க மனசுக்கு கஷ்டமா இருக்கா? நீங்க நம்புறவங்க, உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சவங்க, அப்பா அம்மா இல்லை ஒரு பெரியவங்க, நண்பர்கள், ஆசிரியர்கள்னு யார்கிட்டயாவது மனசை விட்டு பேசிடுங்க எல்லாத்தையும். இந்த பயம், கவலை, வேதனை, விரக்தி இதெல்லாமே கொஞ்ச நேரத்தில் அப்படியே மறைகிற விஷயங்கள்.
Our top story now, Charanjit Singh Channi, a Dalit Sikh and the outgoing Technical Education Minister, will be Punjab's new Chief Minister. He will be sworn in today at 11 a.m. The Congress's choice for Chief Minister is key given next year's polls and the fact that Dalits are around 31% of Punjab's population. There you can see him visiting a Gurudwara this morning. Now the poll calculus behind the choice of Charanjit Channi appears simple. The Akali Dal, earlier in power with the BJP, has joined hands with Mayawati's BSP to tap Dalit votes. Now, Mr. Channi, as a Dalit and Sikh Chief Minister, the Congress hopes will counter that. The party's Punjab in charge, Harish Rawat, said that there will be 2 deputy chief ministers in the state.
पार्टी के अंदर जो राय है, वो राय तो इसी के चारों तरफ है कि 2 उप मुख्यमंत्री बनाए जाएं।
सिद्धू जी भी साथ थे इस निर्णय में?
बिल्कुल साथ है। उन्हीं के नेतृत्व तो हम जो है क्लेम स्टेट करने के लिए गए। मैं बिल्कुल जाऊंगा, हमारी पार्टी के बहुत मान्य नेता है, आदरणीय नेता है, मैं उनके पास जाऊंगा। और मैं एक बात जानता हूं कि पंजाब और पंजाब कांग्रेस के इंटरेस्ट के लिए कैप्टन आगे आएंगे और सब साथ मिल करके काम करेंगे।
पंजाब में वैसे भी जो एससी पॉपुलेशन है वो तमाम हिंदुस्तान से सबसे ज़्यादा है, ऑलमोस्ट 33%। तो बीजेपी ने ये अपने मंशूर तो नहीं कहूँगा, पर उन्होंने इस बात का ऐलान किया था कि अगर बीजेपी की सरकार बनती है तो वो दलित को सीएम बनाएंगे। अकाली दल ने भी बीएसपी के साथ अलायंस किया है। तो मैं समझता हूँ कांग्रेस पार्टी ने वो जिसको पंजाबी में बोलते हैं, हिंदी में तो शायद नहीं बोलते, एक धोबी पलटा मारा इस फैसले नाल कि उन्होंने नॉर्थ इंडिया का पहला दलित सीएम बनाया।
All right, let's go across to Ghazali for more. So, Ghazali, a big day today for the Congress in Punjab with the new Chief Minister going to be sworn in. But will this really, calm the situation down? Because there's still a lot of unrest, a lot of unhappiness among different factions.
Yes, certainly big day for Congress, because for the past 6 months we had seen a lot of internal fighting. The workers and the leaders were also confused that which way they are, like which faction they belong to ahead of elections while other parties are campaigning. The Congress was not setting its house in order. But today, after Charanjit Singh Channi will be sworn in as the Chief Minister, things are pretty much clear for the Congress ahead of the 2022 polls. Now, the bigger question is that will Mr. Channi be able to deliver on the 18-point agenda for which Mr. Amrinder Singh was replaced, because polls are in February, last elections were held in February only. So we had 4 to 5 months ahead of elections now before Model Code of Conduct also kicks in Punjab or is imposed in Punjab. And there are a lot of poll promises which have not yet been delivered, like sacrilege issue, drug issue, and taking action against Badals, as was claimed by Congress in the previous elections. So will Mr. Channi be able to deliver on these promises? The second thing is, which everybody is talking about, is the Dalit factor. So the Dalit issue in Punjab is not like UP and Bihar, where they are a monolith community. Here there are many divisions in Dalit community as well. So this is, even the Congress knows that making the Dalit chief minister will certainly revive the party, they will be able to reconnect with the Dalit community. But Dalits in Punjab have never voted en bloc to a single party or a single political leader, or they haven't rallied behind one particular leader or one particular face. So on that front, certainly Congress is having an upper hand as of now, because rest of the political parties, as you heard Mr. Manpreet Badal saying, that most of the political parties in Punjab have been promising that if they come back to power, they'll have Dalit Deputy CM or a Dalit CM. But Congress, being in power, has done it. So certainly they will have an edge over that, and they will go to town, is speaking about that. And Mr. Channi is a self-made politician. All this while in Punjab you had chief ministers from influential royal families, but for the first time you have a politician who is a 3-time MLA, who rose from the ranks, I can say, and he has been a grounded politician, though he had a limited fan base or a mass appeal, but certainly he is a self-made politician. And now, since he will be the chief minister, he will have all the pressure, but he should be given time to prove what he will be delivering for Congress ahead of the assembly polls.
All right, Ghazali, and speaking of erstwhile royals, Sunil, what are you hearing about Captain Amrinder Singh? What next for him? Of course, his faction is unhappy, or he's rather unhappy, and also the choice of 2 deputy chief ministers also has to be announced.
Well, Gagi, the first most important news, and as he was pointing out, Mohammad Ghazali, the fact that they're going to go to town. Rahul Gandhi is making a rare exception of going for that swearing in to be present to show his hand, his stamp. He has come under huge criticism in the last few days in the way he has handled this entire matter. But Rahul Gandhi now going to Chandigarh to address, to be part of that swearing in of, Punjab's first Dalit scheduled caste chief minister being sworn in. Whether he will reach out to Captain Amrinder is anybody's guess, as you were asking. Captain Amrinder has already felt humiliated. He said this is not once but thrice. And then, of course, there is a possibility, as he says, of forming his own party. He has done this earlier before joining back the Congress. So it's in that backdrop we'll have to wait and see what happens. But Captain Amrinder, an old soldier, is wounded and upset. Whether the leadership will reach out to him or not is a different matter. And as I was pointing out to you earlier, they need to take various factions. There's Sunil Jakar, who's upset. The Congress party now trying to take Hindus, the Jat Sikhs, everybody along. And much will depend on whether they are able to work together as a team. Navjot Singh Sidhu, Mr. Channi, the various other faction leaders to take the Congress party if it has to be seen in the reckoning against the Akalis and the BSP, as well as, of course, the Aam Aadmi Party in the state of Punjab.
All right. Thanks so much, Ghazali and Sunil, for joining us with all the very latest. Actually, Ghazali, I'd just like to ask you, what are you hearing about the 2 deputy chief ministers? And, of course, Sunil bringing us that big breaking news that Rahul Gandhi is going to be attending, because this was not known till now. So giving it that, stamp, because we do know the Gandhis were the big force behind this change in Punjab.
See, as far as the deputy chief ministers are concerned, 2 names we have got the confirmation from Congress sources is, one is Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, whose name was doing the rounds for being the chief minister as well. So Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, who is the jails minister in the previous government, will be one of the deputy chief minister, and the second one is Brahm Mahindra. He is a very senior Congress leader in Punjab, comes from Patiala district, and he is considered to be a close aide of Captain Amrinder Singh. So again, the Congress party has tried to make that caste equation. You have one Hindu face as Brahm Mahindra, you have a Jat Sikh as Sukhjinder Randhawa, and you have a CM from scheduled caste. So certainly that caste combination, which was the priority of Congress ahead of this entire controversy broke out after Amrinder Singh's resignation, that has been considered, and according to that, these 2 people have been elected for being the deputy CM. Now much depends upon the cabinet reshuffle, bureaucratic reshuffle. We have to see that in the new cabinet, who all will be inducted, as polls are closed just around 4 months away. So who all will be inducted in the cabinet will also be keenly watched for.